Yeah, we're here in a train station in the north. Now, yeah, my dad is King John, right? Now he's Saint John. You know, the Saint John ambulance service. He's the head of. He created the Beatles, and basically he's a literary man, right? He went to Harrow. His brother, they both went to Harrow. Right? Harrow's, if you don't know what Harrow is, it's like the best public school in the world in England. And people who went there, some of them were really good people, right? They're amazing people, very creative, exceptionally eccentric British poetry. They're very serious literary people, and you know John was exactly one of these people. A very good. He was a genius in a whole load of ways. It was a genius for the British people on a number of levels. Okay, so he was a writer. He wrote a whole load of ideas. He basically wrote a whole load of the Beatles songs, like the song "Love Me Do" is actually about John. He is the me in the "Love Me Do." The love, who's John, King John, Saint John, the Beatles, and then he's saying me. He's the love generation, and he's saying that me is getting done over. Love me do. Okay, so now John is explaining that we're getting done over, right? Who's doing over the Beatles, for fuck's sake, right? Yeah, the biggest band in the world. I mean, John is the man behind the Beatles. He literally created the Beatles in an emergency. All right, so something really bad's going on. He knows about it. He's basically the Secret Services is John, right? Now he's the Secret Services, the MI5. It's the very highest end of the MI5. It's the top office in the MI5, and John is the head of Secret Services. Basically, he knows stuff, right? And here, what he knows is very scary, right? Now, we have to look at what he knows and the history behind it. So I've learned some stuff, and we're very interested to know that the people that are attacking us, the Beatles, attacking him, attacking the love generation, when he says "love me do," it's actually John is getting done over. He is the hippie generation, and basically it's getting done over, and he created the Beatles to tell British people, right, and the world. And he's with Secret Services, right? So when it's telling you something, it's like, you know, you can't get any higher knowledge and intelligence, security, British Army. You can't get any higher than the Secret Services. And he was telling you, "Love me do." He said the whole of England is getting done over, right? Now who's doing that? Right? It's actually some people in the upper classes. They're actually witches. Okay, witches, right? So if there's witches in the upper classes, okay, they're homosexuals. There are no girls allowed group. Now we all know in Britain that the women don't like witches, right? Now there you go, they're killing the girls. They're literally inspired by the homosexual community. Homosexuals are the witches. Where are they from originally? Actually from Germany. Alright, so these witches are in Germany all the way back in the 16th century. They're killing babies. They don't like girls. They then eventually created the Holocaust, right, and then blamed the Dutch people, the white people. Had nothing to do with them. The Holocaust was done by the gay community, witches. Right, John was telling us this in with the Beatles, "Love Me Do." He said, "Help me, look, the Holocaust is actually love me do." You know, love generation, the hippies, the music world, the good stuff, the really good stuff in the Western world is getting killed off by a very primitive entity. You can only call it a chimpanzee. Technically, medically speaking, emotionally speaking, everything speaking, they're looking like a chimpanzee. So it's a wild chimpanzee from the upper classes who brought his boyfriend to England, Africans, right? So they don't know that they're here for homosexual sex. I mean, this is the truth, and it's with underage boys too. So, you know, let's not mess about. We're talking about big guys are coming to England to with our little boys. Okay. Alright, yes, I'll tell you about St. John, my dad. He's the Beatles, he's John Lennon, literally. Okay, now, he's a writer, John. He was very eloquent with his words. He was very good with lyrics and writing lines that were just phenomenally good. Like, now, he wrote Never Can Say Goodbye. It was literally John that wrote that song, Never Can Say Goodbye by Motown. And this song is an incredible song. It has a background. It's the Secret Services telling the masses, right, and Jamaicans that were under attack, right, by a witchcraft group. Now that witchcraft group brought in all these Africans, and they're coming in to kill the Jamaicans. Okay, the music world, the excelled world. They're coming in especially to kill Irish people and the hippies, right? The Beatles. Okay, the rock world. Now, okay, so it's actually like Jack the Ripper's group that have stolen the train services. They are attacking John, and John's written a song about them called to Us, saying Never Can Say Goodbye, which is a sort of two-way song. It's about us and them, but it's also about them and us. They're saying Never Can Say Goodbye, but we're also saying that to them, because John is basically head of the army in Britain. Right now, we are Trident. Trident is a nuclear power, right? Now we can blow up anybody we want to. Yeah, we're going to say before that, we want to say to you, let's prevent this sort of stuff. Never can say goodbye to each other, by the way, and it's a love message to our enemy, right? We don't like saying goodbye to anyone, especially not our group. I mean, goodbye to the music world is what the witches are trying to do, the homosexuals, right? In the upper classes. They've stolen the train services off John, who owns the train services. His dad, Jumbo, owns the train services. He's Elephant and Castle. Okay, we own the train services. Now, here's a train. Now, so Never Can Say Goodbye is about how Jamaicans are getting killed. They're getting killed, the Irish people are getting killed, right, by an enemy group that's actually very high up, and it's very widespread. It's right down on the ground. It's the train services, it's the train drivers, it's the male train staff are extremely obnoxious. Okay, they're really bad. It's worse. They're Jack the Ripper. They support him. They commend him every time I see these people. I hate coming to train stations. I hate these people I love the commuters. I love talking to them. They're my friends. They're my brothers. I love them. Right now, we're all under attack. It's the Christians that have stolen it. Now, the Christians are a witches group. They're not Christians. Okay, let's be honest. Let's ask any Christian if the witch group is Christian. It's not. However, this group think they are Christians, right? And they've commanded the whole Christian, and they called their church the Memorial. Right? They're talking about the whole of the Christian people. They're basically saying goodbye to them. John said, help. Right? He told the Beatles, please sing this song. I wrote it. It's not difficult. It just goes like this. Help. Right? Now, okay, so this is based on like Secret Service information, right? Very high up. About the people that stolen the shipping industry, also the train services. The train services stolen by a group that are now running it are basically African immigrants. They're coming not so long ago. They're planning to kill all the Jamaicans, literally all of them. There's a Secret Service knowledge, right? This is train services are planning this, right? Right now they're selling crack cocaine and heroin en masse. They banned spice because it's a wonder drug. It cancels heroin and crack cocaine, but the train services, spice is really bad. They want crack and heroin. So now we've got crack and heroin in the north a gusto in every town, Manchester, Liverpool, Blackpool, everywhere in the north is a gusto with heroin and crack because of this train services that are a witches group, actually, a homosexual group actually from Germany. Right, they're not British. Okay, so the witchcraft problem in Britain, I'm pleased to say, is not British. Okay, it's an attack from Germany. We'll be talking more about that. I'm a top psychologist. I know about Germany. I love Germany. It's a wonderful country. Again, like England, it's been blighted by witches. These witches are not from England. They're from Germany. However, even in Germany, those witches are not from Germany. Okay. All right. So we'll be talking a lot more about that later. I have to go now. Bye.